Imagine routine duties at a local landfill turning into a scene straight out of a crime thriller. That is exactly what happened when a city utility worker stumbled upon a shocking discovery. Amidst the ordinary trash, a large black suitcase caught his attention. However, what he found inside was anything but ordinary. Join us as we unravel the twisted tale of Summer Baldwin, a bright and ambitious young woman whose life took a tragic turn, and Rosendo Rodriguez, the seemingly unassuming man whose actions would shock an entire community. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of suspense, mystery, and unimaginable horrors. Stay tuned for the rest of the story. It is one you will not want to miss. Understanding the significance of linking similar crimes in criminal investigations is crucial for unraveling complex cases and bringing perpetrators to justice. When two or more crimes share common characteristics, it suggests a pattern or modus operandi unique to the offender, providing investigators with valuable insights into the perpetrator's behavior and motives. Linking similar crimes helps investigators identify patterns of behavior exhibited by the perpetrator. This includes specific methods of operation, target selection, and victim demographics. Recognizing these patterns allows investigators to anticipate the offender's next move and develop strategies to apprehend them. Connecting disparate incidents enables law enforcement to broaden the scope of their investigation beyond individual cases. It allows them to identify potential serial offenders who may be responsible for multiple crimes across different jurisdictions. This collaborative approach enhances information sharing and coordination among law enforcement agencies, increasing the likelihood of capturing the culprit. Examining similarities between crimes provides valuable context and insight into the offender's motives and psychological profile. It allows investigators to understand the underlying reasons behind their actions, such as personal vendettas, financial gain, or psychological gratification. This understanding is essential for building a comprehensive case and securing convictions in court. Linking similar crimes enables law enforcement agencies to implement targeted crime prevention measures and allocate resources effectively. By identifying high-risk areas and vulnerable populations, authorities can deploy proactive strategies to deter criminal activity and protect the community from further harm. The correlation between multiple crimes strengthens the evidentiary basis for prosecution, bolstering the case against the offender in court. It provides prosecutors with a compelling narrative of the offender's criminal behavior and establishes a pattern of conduct that undermines any attempts to refute their guilt. This comprehensive evidence can secure convictions and ensure that justice is served for the victims and their families. In summary, linking similar crimes in criminal investigations is a vital strategy for identifying patterns, expanding investigative scope, understanding motives, enhancing public safety, and supporting prosecution efforts. By recognizing these connections, law enforcement agencies can effectively combat crime and hold perpetrators accountable for their actions. It was a seemingly ordinary day at the local landfill, with workers going about their routine duties amidst the cacophony of garbage trucks and machinery. However, amidst the mundane, a chilling discovery awaited. A city utility worker, accustomed to sifting through heaps of waste, noticed something out of place. A large, ominous black suitcase nestled among the colorful debris. Curiosity piqued, he approached the suitcase, its exterior smeared with grime and filth, yet oddly intact. With a sense of trepidation, he unzipped the suitcase, unsure of what he might find inside. What greeted him was a sight that would haunt him for years to come: a woman's manicured hand, stark against the backdrop of refuse. Shock and disbelief washed over him as he realized the gravity of the situation. This was no discarded belonging or forgotten luggage. It was a vessel of tragedy, concealing a human life cruelly taken. The worker's heart raced as he fully opened the suitcase, revealing the naked body of a young woman, her limbs contorted in an unnatural position, arms crossed tightly around her neck. The stench of decay mingled with the stale air, a grim testament to the horrors that had transpired within this makeshift tomb. Amidst the chaos of the landfill, a somber silence fell over the scene as the magnitude of the discovery sank in. Here lay the remains of Summer Baldwin, her promising life snuffed out in a manner as senseless as it was brutal. Her story, a tragedy woven amidst the refuse of society, would soon unravel, exposing the dark underbelly of human depravity. As investigators descended upon the landfill, the grim reality of Summer's fate became painfully clear. The condition of the suitcase, though marred by its surroundings, hinted at a meticulous effort to conceal the heinous crime, a stark juxtaposition to the callous disregard for human life it contained. In the midst of this desolate landscape, where society's castaways mingled with the detritus of daily life, the discovery of Summer Baldwin's body served as a sobering reminder of the fragility of existence and the depths of human cruelty. Therefore began the quest for justice, as law enforcement embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind Summer's untimely demise and bring her killer to account. Meet Summer Baldwin, a name that once echoed with dreams of bright lights and applause. A young woman whose aspirations soared as high as the stars. Born in 1976, in the heart of Washington, Summer was not just a face in the crowd. She was a beacon of hope, a testament to the boundless potential of youth. From a young age, Summer's infectious energy and vibrant personality captivated those around her. With a smile that could light up the darkest of rooms and a heart as pure as the morning dew, she was destined for greatness. As she grew, so too did her dreams, fueled by a passion for the arts and a relentless pursuit of her goals. Summer was not just a dreamer, she was a doer, a trailblazer unafraid to carve her own path in life. A bright student with a thirst for knowledge, she excelled in her studies, eager to soak up every ounce of wisdom the world had to offer. But it was on the stage where Summer truly came alive, her talent shining like a beacon amidst the sea of mediocrity. With dreams of an acting career dancing in her mind, Summer set her sights on the horizon, determined to chase her passions wherever they may lead. After graduating from high school, she embarked on a journey of self-discovery, enrolling in community college with stars in her eyes and a fire in her soul. But life, as it so often does, had other plans for Summer. Despite her best efforts, the road to stardom proved to be a rocky one, fraught with challenges and setbacks at every turn. Yet, through it all, Summer remained undeterred, her spirit unbroken by the trials and tribulations of the world. In search of a fresh start and new opportunities, Summer made the bold decision to leave behind the familiar comforts of home and venture into the unknown. With the unwavering support of her parents, she set her sights on Lubbock, Texas, a city brimming with promise and possibility. Little did she know, the path she had chosen would lead her not to fame and fortune, but to a fate far more sinister. As she embarked on this new chapter of her life, Summer's dreams began to unravel, consumed by the shadows that lurked in the darkness. But amidst the darkness, a glimmer of light still shone, a reminder of the vibrant soul that once inhabited this world. And so, as we embark on this journey into the heart of darkness, let us not forget the spirit of Summer Baldwin, a beacon of hope in a world gone mad. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the sprawling expanse of Lubbock, Texas, a grim task lay ahead for the investigators tasked with unraveling the mystery of Summer Baldwin's untimely demise. With each passing moment, the weight of the investigation bore down on them, a burden made heavier by the darkness that enveloped the case. From the outset, the challenges facing the investigators loomed large. The discovery of Summer's body amidst the refuse of a landfill presented a daunting task, a needle in a haystack scenario, with vital clues buried beneath layers of debris. Yet, undeterred by the enormity of the task at hand, they forged ahead, driven by a relentless pursuit of justice. As they delved deeper into the labyrinth of Summer's life, a portrait began to emerge. A portrait of a young woman whose dreams had been overshadowed by the harsh realities of the world. Born into a world of promise and potential, Summer's journey had been fraught with struggles and setbacks, her once bright future dimmed by the darkness that lurked at society's fringes. Despite her best efforts to carve out a path of her own, Summer found herself ensnared in a web of addiction and despair, her aspirations eclipsed by the shadows that haunted her every step. Yet, even in the midst of her darkest hour, she remained a beacon of hope, a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Speculation swirled about the circumstances surrounding Summer's murder, with whispers of a possible connection to a counterfeiting case, adding a layer of complexity to an already convoluted investigation. Was she simply a victim of circumstance? Or had she stumbled upon secrets far more sinister than she could have imagined? As the investigators pieced together the fragments of Summer's shattered life, they were met with more questions than answers, a testament to the enigmatic nature of the case they now faced. But undeterred by the shadows that threatened to engulf them, they pressed on, guided by a determination to uncover the truth no matter the cost. For in the heart of darkness, where secrets lie buried and demons lurk in the shadows, justice is not merely a goal, it is a beacon of hope, a light that shines brightest in the darkest of times. And as the investigation into Summer Baldwin's murder unfolded, it became clear that the pursuit of justice would not end until the truth was brought to light, and those responsible were held to account. As the investigation into the tragic death of Summer Baldwin gained momentum, the spotlight shifted to potential suspects whose proximity to the victim raised suspicions and fueled speculation. Among them, a cast of characters with their own stories to tell and alibis to defend. One such individual was Summer's ex-boyfriend, whose turbulent relationship with the victim cast a shadow of suspicion over his every move. Reports of aggression and stalking following their breakup painted a damning picture. Yet his solid alibi from a drunken brawl on the night of the tragedy left investigators grasping for answers. A pair of dubious purchases shook the inquiry, casting a menacing shadow over the already hazy proceedings. On Summer's last day, 2 identical suitcases were bought, raising suspicions about their purpose. The elderly couple's first purchase was discounted as a coincidence. The second transaction, a purchase by a young Latino man who matched security footage's description, raised concerns. Investigators used security cameras to track the unknown person's purposeful moves through the city. Red van, late-night purchase, disposable gloves, all puzzle pieces. As the net closed in on the suspect, law enforcement whispered of conspiracy and foul play, escalating tensions and the stakes of an already high-stakes investigation. But despite the chaos and uncertainty, one thing was certain: justice will be done to find out what killed Summer Baldwin. In search of Rosendo Rodriguez. Finding a fugitive is one of the most thrilling parts of criminal investigation. Rosendo Rodriguez, a fugitive, has baffled law police for months. While on the hunt for the stranger, detectives must be precise and persistent. This pursuit revolves around surveillance and forensic evidence analysis. All evidence is methodically analyzed and fitted together like a puzzle in the search for truth. The quest of justice is unwavering, from covert stakeouts to high-tech monitoring. One must examine Rosendo Rodriguez's background, a tapestry of intrigue and complexity, to comprehend him. Rodriguez's childhood in obscurity reveals little about his future, but his military service reveals his true character. Rodriguez's stellar military record shows discipline and talent, but his violent past lies beneath the surface. The furnace of war sowed his malice, a terrible reminder of the human soul. Numerous obstacles face investigators as they unravel Rodriguez's complex past. Despite countless dead ends and false clues, they persevere. They see this as a desire for closure and justice that transcends time and location. The search for Rosendo Rodriguez is about unraveling his life's complicated tapestry, recognizing his influences, and holding him accountable. The trek is dangerous and unknown, but it also shows the tenacity of those who persevere. One thing becomes evident as the investigation progresses: the stranger is still wanted. With each day a new hint, the net gradually approaches its elusive victim. In addition, when justice is served, the last chapter will demonstrate the triumph of good over evil and endurance over despair. Revealing Rodriguez's hotel room secrets. Sometimes the biggest victories in the fight for justice come from unexpected places. In the search for Rosendo Rodriguez, an apparently regular hotel room would host a startling revelation that changed the game. Investigators searched Rodriguez's temporary home at a rundown hotel for any hint of a clue. The discovery inside those 4 walls shook the inquiry and sent it into uncharted terrain. Rodriguez's prior secrets were revealed by a single piece of evidence lying in plain sight. If by design or oversight, its significance was not lost on the detectives, who saw its ability to unravel the fugitive's elaborate network of deceit. The pattern that emerged as they methodically cataloged each thing revealed Rodriguez's terrifying true character. The hotel room revealed a mind on the brink of madness, with cryptic notes and symbols etched into the walls. Only those brave enough to face the darkness could reveal its secrets. A hidden compartment with a wealth of incriminating material was the pièce de résistance. A plethora of documents, each more damning than the last, revealed the fugitive's twisted mind and wickedness. When their findings became clear, investigators knew they were on the verge of a breakthrough that would help them catch their prey. The knowledge that justice was within reach fueled their resolve, so they repeated their attempts. The finding of important evidence in Rodriguez's hotel room was more than a coincidence. It showed the determination of those who persevere. It reminded me that truth will always shine through, blazing the path to justice for all. Despite debate and speculation, Rodriguez's account is a tangled web of denial, ambiguity, and changing comments. This figure's first denials have been investigated by the public, leading to a succession of later remarks that have only deepened the mystery. Rodriguez began this turbulent voyage by steadfastly denying the claims against him. Despite escalating accusations, he maintained his innocence with an air of confidence. Cracks appeared in this facade as pressure and evidence increased, showing his initial stance's frailty. Rodriguez crossed dangerous seas as the focus intensified, forced to confront his narrative contradictions. He changed his story every day, as if seeking to reconcile the irreconcilable. Each statement was carefully written to handle the increasing facts while maintaining credibility after the initial denial. Though he tried, Rodriguez's account left more questions than answers. The public awaited each new announcement, examining every word for hints and contradictions to find the truth in a sea of ambiguity. Others see Rodriguez's battle from denial to acceptance as a mirror of society conflicts and power imbalances. This cautionary tale shows the challenges of truth and justice. While Rodriguez's version of events changes, one thing remains. The route to understanding and redemption is often paved with hard truths. Rodriguez's narrative may survive investigation or collapse under its contradictions. Numerous contradictions and inconsistencies cast doubt on Rodriguez's account. Johanna Catherine Rogers, a new character, complicates the situation. Rodriguez's story's paradoxes are like puzzle pieces scattered randomly, refusing to fit together. Discrepancies plague his story, casting doubt on it. The evidence contradicts his original denials, casting doubt on his remarks. Once strong, this defense now appears weak and about to fall. Rodriguez's shifting timeline is one of his most inconsistent portrayals. As more evidence emerges, his narrative changes. A denial becomes a network of half-truths and distortions, making it hard to tell fact from fiction. The drama is enhanced by Johanna Catherine Rogers' Arrive à la mid this uncertainty. Her perspective illuminates Rodriguez's story in new ways. As more victims come forward, Rodriguez's alleged crimes become clearer. Despite Johanna Catherine Rogers' success, questions remain. Trust her account. Her tale and Rodriguez's, how do they relate? These unsolved questions add to the drama's fascination as the investigation continues. Rodriguez's contradictions and inconsistencies remind us of the difficulties of finding truth. As the narrative unfolds, one thing becomes clear. Clarity is difficult, and justice is far from over. As Rodriguez's horrific search history and plea bargain agreement emerge, his depravity becomes clear. The final piece of the puzzle is Johanna's remains, which prove Rodriguez's evil. Rodriguez's online presence reveals his worst thoughts. His search history is a horrifying glimpse into a world of depravity and violence. As they investigate, they find a trail of breadcrumbs pointing to horrible acts, shattering any illusions of innocence. Rodriguez plea bargains to reduce the gravity of his crimes in a desperate attempt to avoid justice. Even as he evades accountability, the truth unfolds, showing his horrors and depravity. But Johanna's remains are the final nail in Rodriguez's coffin. Her terrible death confirms Rodriguez's violent past, linking him to a number of unsolved disappearances and killings. Each admission reveals the extent of his crimes, portraying a picture of a man obsessed by darkness. As the dust settles and the truth emerges, Rodriguez is a serial offender, a predator who preys on the innocent without mercy. His distressing search history and plea deal show human depravity, while Johanna's remains show the repercussions of his acts. After Rodriguez's misdeeds are revealed, they emphasize the need for attention and persistence in justice. Even though the road is long and difficult, the truth will always prevail, blazing a light into the darkest places and holding awful criminals accountable. As the evidence grows and Rodriguez's crimes become unavoidable, a trial will decide his serial misdeeds' fate. Rodriguez prepares for full legal scrutiny as he faces terrible charges. Rodriguez's wickedness is methodically demonstrated by the prosecution. Each claim shows the lives he has destroyed and the communities he has frightened. The evidence shows a man consumed with darkness, from survivors' horrifying testimonies to victims' bones. Rodriguez struggles to comprehend the charges as the trial approaches. Now that he knows his deeds and their implications, he must face them. Stoicism masks uneasiness, a growing knowledge that his days of impunity are numbered. The prosecution hopes to bring justice and closure to the victims and their families. They further that purpose with every witness and piece of evidence. Their quest for truth and Rodriguez's punishment is uncompromising. Despite his guilt, Rodriguez is a powerful opponent. He vigorously challenges the prosecution's story with a team of skilled defense attorneys. Using doubt and ambiguity, he sows uncertainty in the jury. The nation watches the trial to see Rodriguez's destiny. It provides a chance for victims and their families to see justice for their suffering. Rodriguez sees it as a final test of his humanity and his conduct. The trial shows the fragility of justice and the strength of the human spirit. Rodriguez caused unfathomable anguish, but the trial offers hope that justice will prevail and the victims can find peace. As the trial of Rodriguez unfolds, the specter of the death penalty looms large, casting a shadow of uncertainty over his fate. Despite his fervent hope to avoid the ultimate punishment, the aggravating factor of Summer Baldwin's pregnancy serves as a damning reminder of the heinous nature of his crimes. With each rejected appeal, Rodriguez's chances of escaping the inevitable diminish, culminating in his final execution within the walls of Huntsville prison. From the moment Rodriguez is led into the courtroom, the gravity of the situation is palpable. His eyes betray a sense of fear and desperation, a stark contrast to the facade of confidence he once projected. Behind closed doors, his legal team works tirelessly to mount a defense, exploring every avenue in a desperate bid to spare him from the death penalty. For Rodriguez, the prospect of execution is a fate worse than death itself. Despite the atrocities he has committed, he clings to the hope of redemption, praying for a second chance at life. Yet, as the trial progresses, that hope begins to fade, replaced by a growing sense of resignation to his fate. The revelation of Summer Baldwin's pregnancy adds a chilling layer of complexity to the case, transforming it from a tragedy into an unspeakable horror. Her unborn child becomes a symbol of innocence lost, a victim of Rodriguez's unfathomable cruelty. The jury is left to grapple with the weight of this aggravating factor as they deliberate his sentence, knowing that their decision will have far-reaching implications. As the appeals process unfolds, Rodriguez's hopes for clemency dwindle with each passing day. Despite the efforts of his legal team, the courts remain unmoved, rejecting appeal after appeal in a relentless march toward justice. With each denial, the inevitability of his fate becomes increasingly apparent, until finally, all avenues for reprieve are exhausted. In the end, Rodriguez meets his fate with a mixture of defiance and resignation, his final moments marked by a profound sense of remorse for the pain he has caused. As the executioner's hand falls, justice is served, but the scars left by Rodriguez's crimes will linger long after his life has ended. And so, within the cold confines of Huntsville prison, the chapter of Rodriguez's reign of terror comes to a close, a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of justice.